AFC West fantasy breakouts. Who's taking over in 2025? What's going on, guys? I'm your host, the bus driver, Cedric Green, over here on Shady Sports Network, and you are watching Fantasy Reports. You know what? Training camp has started. It's heating up, and that means fantasy football is getting started, right? We're getting ready to get to it. So this week on Fantasy Reports, I'll be kicking off my Around the League fantasy tour with the AFC West. Of course, you know I got to start right here in my backyard. So I'm going to dive into the camp standouts that I think, breakout picks, and key flags or key red flags, all that I'm updating for you. So I'll be keeping you guys in the mix as we roll into the season, get into training camp. So let's go ahead and get that intro like we do. We'll get into it, and we'll start off with our fantasy risers. Guys, thanks for watching. Hit that like button also. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Subscribe to Shady Sports Network, and check out the description. You can find our link tree with all the links for the website, for all of our videos, our other social medias, as well as our merch too. So, guys, check it out, Shady Sports Network. I'm the bus driver, Cedric Green, and this is Fantasy Reports. Let's get it.
Sit back, relax a little bit. Let me tell you a story. See if yours is anything like mine. Remember when I was a kid? So much better when I popped the lid. Feel the rabble, open it up.
Exactly, listen to Sean. Right, and Cash Out's the easy way to get money transferred when you're out with friends. So hop into that, and then we'll get back to it.
He said, baby, jump in the back, boy. Tailgate crazy.
Tailgate crazy, right? What's up, guys? Like I said, we're doing my Round the League tour. So we're starting the AFC West with some of the people I think that are risers. I'm talking about players that are making noise and climbing up on the fantasy boards. Players you're starting to see their names all over the place, at least in my book. So we'll go ahead and we'll dive right into it like I do. I won't hold you guys up too long. Just go ahead and get you that info, get in and get out. Right over here in Fantasy Reports, we just get it done. All right, so we'll start off with my boy. First and foremost, my boy Bo Nix, quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Of course, I've been preaching about him a lot. I feel like the last couple of weeks. I feel like Bo Nix is really locked in. They say that he's looking locked in. Sean Payton is giving them the early reins, and reports from Denver say he's picking up on the offense quicker than expected. He's showing command and getting red zone work and has sneaky quarterback 2 upside and super flex. If he clicks his legs plus Payton's scheme, I think that could be some fantasy gold, quite honestly. And as always, I use outlooks from the Sleeper Fantasy Football app. In the Sleeper Outlook, they have them ranked as their quarterback 50 through 60 with high quarterback 2 upside and super flex. Coaches are confident in his decision-making and downfield accuracy. His fantasy role, if he maintains starter status, expect 260, 280 passing yards. This guy is probably going to get you some, or I don't even know, it's 260. Sorry, 2,500 to 3,000 passing yards. I don't know what's up with my notes here, but expect Bo Nix to be definitely in that quarterback 10 to 15 range. I think coming into the season, I think you'll be surprised with what you see out of Bo Nix coming into the season. All right, moving on. Got some players on here. I don't like the team, but I'll talk about their players, right? Xavier Worthy from the Chiefs. I got Xavier Worthy from the Chiefs. Yeah. We heard about all the crazy stuff, and actually, what are we doing here? All right, yeah, I got Xavier Worthy from the Chiefs. They say he's been cooking in camp. Word is Mahomes already trusts him on the deep routes, and if Rice gets suspended, Worthy walks into probably at least 6+ targets a game right out the gate, right? Travis Kelce kind of on his way out the door. Like I said, Rice looking at the legal troubles, and I mean, Xavier Worthy is that rug burner, man. So if Rice is out, expect, 5 to 7 targets a game, about 60, 80 yards a game. Probably going to break that 1,000-yard mark this season. We'll probably see what we thought we were going to see out of him. Not necessarily Tyreek Hill numbers, but definitely low-end wide receiver 3 upside trending. So I think he'd be a good pickup, especially if we see more news on what happens with Rice. All right, another one I got, Omarion Hampton from the Chargers. I don't even know I'm talking about these guys. Anyway, Omarion Hampton, this rookie from UMC. It says he's already turning heads. Najee Harris, obviously is out with that July 4th firework mishap. He's on the NFI list. Hampton is taking over first team reps. And he's got the power for goal line and agility to be the Chargers' next breakout back. Stash him now before he's on waiver wires, which he probably won't end up on waiver wires, I don't think, especially if he's predicted to be a week 1 starter, right? Even if Najee comes in, Najee's missed quite a bit of time. So yeah, you're looking at about that running back 40 to 60 range. Probably, seeing him probably going around rounds 10 to rounds 12, But he could go a little bit earlier. Probably see people snatch him up around, after they get their, solid first running back. You could see people going back and stretching for him, especially people playing the running back heavy draft strategy. But looking at probably, 12 to 15 touches, early starter though, about 70 to 90, probably even closer, flirting with that 100-yard mark if they use him as his workhorse, because I know Harbaugh was trying to go to a run-heavy offense last season, so I think we're finally going to see that run-heavy offense that the Chargers have been trying to turn to. And especially if Najee sits out and continues to sit out, I mean, I haven't seen the updates in their camp. I can look into it. Probably should have done that, but if he can, he sits out, Hampton's just going to continue to step it up, right? That's the only thing he can do. So I think that'd be a great pickup, especially even if they just signed Naheem Hines, so they're going to be leaning on Hampton a lot. So I definitely, if you get a chance, you got your running back 1, I'd just pick him up as a running back 2. If you don't see that, you got both the running backs, you see him, snatch him up. He's probably going to get at least 12, 14, 15 points every week. I think, honestly, you're going to see him averaging quite a bit of points weekly. So, yeah, Omarion Hampton, definitely pick him up. All right, another guy I think I got on my list. I don't know, man, staying with these Chargers, but Quentin Johnston from the Chargers. Mike Williams retired. We just found that out, last week. So he's going to step in and fill that void, right? The Buzzers, better hands, cleaner routes, and fewer drops. That's what they're saying. The Chargers need a red zone threat, and this could be the year he puts that together. So I'm saying from Sleepers, looking at wide receiver 80 to 100 with bounce back expectations, starting low end wide receiver 3 to wide receiver 4. But in his fantasy role, if he secures 5 to 6 targets a game, you can see around 650 to 800 yards, 5 to 7 touchdowns. That's pretty solid work, especially, wide receiver 3. So that'd be, that probably would be your backup wide receiver, but definitely on those weeks where you have bye weeks, that's a good step in right there, especially if it's a week he happens to pop off. So I think Quentin Johnson could be a good pickup, and if you see injuries, he's on the waiver wire, definitely step in and grab him for sure. We got another Bronco on the list. It's cool to see Broncos on the list because I feel like last year was like, no Broncos, I don't want them. So it's cool to see him on the list. Marvin Mims from the Denver Broncos. They say Mims added a bit of strength, refined his route tree, and he's taking reps with the ones. Probably find out this weekend when I go up there, right? With Sutton's future cloudy because, he's trying to get paid. Who knows what he's going to do? He could have a sit-in. He could not show up. I think he showed up today, but he could have a sit-in. He could, just not play. But either way, Mims has a path to wide receiver 1, realistically, especially if he comes out on point. Outlook looking at like wide receiver 90 to 110. So really be a deep sleeper, right? So really just come down. I don't think Sutton's really going to sit out, but there's a chance, right? I don't think it's going to happen. But expect rotational use early. They have all these trick plays for him too, So if he gets more volume and he just takes every trick play to the house, you could see, 650 to 900 yards is like that big of a void, but 5 touchdowns, he'll probably get around 5 touchdowns because he'll probably see some early goal down work too, right? If he's getting these trick plays. So you'll at least see him get a couple of touchdowns. So probably not anything you need, but maybe, on a dynasty, you'd hold on to him or something. If you're deep in a deep league, you probably want him, right? So, I still would take a look, if maybe if you got an open spot in your draft, and maybe just pick them up just in case, right? Who knows what could happen, God forbid, but just in case, right? But hey, look, if you're still watching, do me a favor, hit that sub button, and if you haven't already, because I do this fantasy content every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time over here in Denver. And then when the preseason starts, my Sundays will be starting back up too. Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. So I'll help you set your lineup, talk waiver wire stashes, flex plays. Just come chat with me, right? And then if you head over to the Discord, that's in the description too. I know Thursday nights, Justin will be like doing live voice games, like voice chats for the games too. So we got your football covered for sure over here, as well as other things over on Shady Sports Network. So with that being said, check out this promo real quick. Hit that like button too if you're still watching. Keep rocking with me, help it grow, and we'll keep this going. I'm the bus driver. I'll be right back, guys. Yo, let's go ahead and flip this strip real quick because I'm mad of them. I messed up on my notes in the beginning. I came out ready to go all smooth through the whole thing. Whatever. Here's some followers I'm watching closely, right? As I talked about him earlier. Najee Harris from the Chargers. So, Najee Harris, he's on the NFI list after an all-field eye injury over 4th of July, right? Hampton's been more than serviceable in his absence. There could be a full-on timeshare or worse if Najee doesn't come back strong. His sleeper outlook, still running back 45 to 55 is Najee Harris, right? But for risk adjustment, eye injury plus not really at camp, could be a mid-season fade, right? Risk of running back 2 volume with running back 3 consistency. So, yeah, you might see him getting those snaps, but he might be hitting once every blue moon. Sleeper flags him as a caution. Possible workload reduced or shared heavily, right? Because that's what they did at Pittsburgh too, right? That's why he's not there anymore. So now that he has an injury on top of it, it's just only going down. Next one, another Chief, Rashee Rice, pending suspension. Could sideline him for multiple games. Let's see if there's any updates on it. I wrote this a couple days ago. Yeah. Didn't he? Let's see. Well, I'll continue to look it up, but yeah. The NFL, what does this say? The NFL will suspend Chiefs wide receiver Rashee Rice after his guilty plea to 2 felonies this week. What the suspension could look like and the factors the league is likely to take into account in this decision. There's no doubt about it, he will be suspended. Well, is he suspended? He hasn't been suspended yet, so it's possible it's gonna happen, probably, right? He's still at training camp. He got the jail sentence, so those are 36 days or something pushed back. So, sentenced to 5 years. Wasn't it like deferred? He'll be required to spend 30 days in Dallas County Jail as a condition of that probation. 5 years of probation. Wow. Oh, it said 5 years probation. Either way, Rashee Rice. They haven't suspended him yet, but he's bound to be suspended, so there you go. Availability issues may limit him to 10-14 games max. Suggest drafting him with only in a favorable risk or reward, right? Do it if you want. Another fade, Mike Williams. Obviously, he retired. Move on. Here's a fade for you. J.K. Dobbins. It's R.J. Harvey's backfield to lose, right? Dobbins is fighting for a roster spot. Dobbins, I just heard Phil Lindsay talk about on the radio. Dobbins could be a sneaky camp cut, right? The way his contract situated, he may not even make it out of camp. So he's fighting for a roster spot. Unless Harvey struggles in pass pro, Dobbins may only see the fill-in situational role. So, Harvey is going to have to struggle. So looking at about running back 70 through 90, coming off injury already, recovering from a torn ACL, minimal camp snaps behind rookie Harvey drops value. So, it's Harvey's backfield. So I don't know. You can take him. Expect a backup profile with small rotational volume. Unless Harvey can't do it, J.K. Dobbins won't really be getting a lot. Sleeper labels him only as a handcuff or deep stash, which is wild because, we're so excited for him to come in, right? But from fantasy point, from team point, it's like, yeah, come in, spell him every once in a while, and that way we can keep going through the season, right? I don't know. But, I just want to ask a question real quick, and we'll touch back on it later, right? Who's your sneaky breakout that no one's talking about? So I'll put it in the chat. Go ahead, leave your answer in the chat or chime in wherever you want, obviously in the chat, and we'll get it on here later in the show. And we'll talk about them next show or one of these shows. Because next show we're doing the NFC East next Tuesday. Just to let you know, little preview. But yeah, who's your sneaky breakout that no one is talking about? I'd love to hear that. We'll talk about it later in the show. Just go ahead and leave that in the chat. All right. So you know how we do what we've been doing, what I've been doing, how I get it when I do it. Look, buy, sell, stash. Right? Buy, sell, stash. So that's the name of the game. I really got to get my graphics, but it's okay, man. Right? Get this bus rolling. Yo, here's how I'm playing these names in the draft. Look, I will buy Xavier Worthy. It's Mahomes wide receiver 1 right now at a discount. Yes, please. Selling Rashee Rice. Cash out before they get the suspension. Don't even worry about it. Stash Omarion Hampton. No risk, high reward, especially if Najee stays out, right? Don't be afraid to snatch up Bo Nix late either. I'm telling you. You got your starting quarterback. Don't be afraid to have Bo Nix as a second. 3 quarterback lead. Don't be afraid to have Bo Nix in that mix. I'm telling you. I don't know. That's just how I feel, right? Omarion Hampton and Xavier Worthy both offer high upside at low cost. Ideal for late round grabs. Bo Nix and Quentin Johnston. One's quarterback 2 with a lot of potential in Superflex. And the other's a solid wide receiver. So I'm telling you, you need a third quarterback, it better be Bo Nix. Right? Who else you getting? The other one's already taken. Caution risk, Najee Harris, Rashee Rice. Both have tangible talent, but situational concerns that can limit early season value. And that's what you need is that early. Man, you got to get your momentum early in the season. I'm telling you, it can come back to haunt you later in the season. You know what I mean? Like, take those wins when you can get them. So make sure you know you're drafting for those early moves. Avoid or stash only. J.K. Dobbins. No volume upside until proven otherwise. It's R.J. Harvey's backfield to lose, man. So until otherwise, I don't know. So, yeah, let's go back. Buy Xavier Worthy. Sell Rashee Rice. Stash Omarion Hampton. Right? Grab Bo Nix later. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared of these Broncos players, man. I'd be looking at Cortland Sutton, too. You know what I'm saying? Dynasty, looking at R.J. Harvey. Don't be afraid of these Broncos players. They're here. They're ready to play, man. So you better get with it. I know I seem like a homer and win. You know what I'm saying? I got the big D up here, but it is what it is, man. We here. And then, all right, jumping forward, a little fantasy face off. Look, Omarion Hampton versus J.K. Dobbins. Who you taking? Hampton's definitely seeing first team red zone and early down reps. Dobbins, safety net, they're going to be probably getting about the same points, right? On sleeper, Hampton's currently in the mid 40s, but projections have him as a high running back 2, especially if Najee misses time. So it's Hampton, right? Hampton's the stash. If you can get Hampton, you see Hampton and Dobbins, you better go get Hampton. Denver will be interesting. I think, they have no choice but to be interesting too, especially with all this hype now. I feel like too many networks have been trying to talk about them and trying to, get with it. And the thing is, we do need a second tight end. I mean, and the Seahawks just dropped Noah Fant. I wouldn't mind, like I said, Thursday night going after him or somebody. Oof. I tell you what, we lost to the Chargers twice, but we should have beat the Chiefs twice. Chiefs, I don't know, man. It's Chiefs division until somebody beat them. But I think for sure the Broncos got a chance. I think for sure the the Chargers got a chance. And I mean, heck, even Pete Carroll, pull some magic over there in Seattle. So, but I just don't think the Chiefs got as big a hold as anyone thinks. I think Denver has a chance, but I think Denver still has. We need a couple more pieces. Like I said, we need another tight end. I think we need another receiver, a solid. We need a beast. We need a beast of a second. So we need somebody to step. Hopefully, Pat Bryant step up and just snatch it here in training camp, because I feel like it's his or Vele's to lose as far as the second receiver role. So, oof. We made the playoffs last year. What's our schedule? Actually, yeah, I went over it. I think I had us. I think I had us going like 12-5. We got some winnable games. Ooh, I know. But Scary Terry want the same amount of money that Cortland Sutton want. I would take Scary Terry over Cortland Sutton, but it'd be hard to get rid of Cortland Sutton. That's the thing. I don't think we can pay both of them, because we technically could if Mims doesn't do anything, because, right, isn't this his contract season? But yeah, man, I think that would be something to see Scary Terry in this offense too, because we are poised for speed, man. And Cortland, while he can get up there, he ain't burning everybody. So I think dang, let's see what, because I feel like the day Scary Terry came out and said that he was unhappy, that's when they started talking about how similar his contract was to Cortland Sutton. That'd be something, though. They should just do a trade straight up. Just swap them. Just swap them. Swap a trade with the Commanders. They can have Sutton. But see, I feel like they want Mims to be that Scary Terry type role. That because last year he was the over the top. I mean, even Troy Franklin, towards the end of the season, started showing his speed. I think they definitely have speed, and guys, it's just they're not proven. It's not consistent. They have to work in plays for Mims. Mims isn't, like I said earlier, he has a chance to become wide receiver 1. If he shows up, shows out, man, he can get some consistent snaps, at least wide receiver 2. So you put him out there, he can be that Scary Terry role. But man, he just got to, I don't know. It's his contract season, so we'll see. Like, I think you just got to prove it. But I think the AFC West is going to be interesting for sure because I do not think the Chiefs are just going to come in and steamroll and win a division like they have in the past, 12 years or something like that. Who knows how long it's been. I think Harbaugh is building a team over there in LA in his likeness, right? He's building a powerhouse team, and Justin Herbert ain't nothing to shy from either, right? I think they got a solid squad over there in LA. But yes, I definitely do have faith in the Broncos. It's wild to have faith in the Broncos and not say we need to get a quarterback, maybe next year. You know what I mean? We got one of the best defenses, top 3 defense, in my opinion. Definitely a top 5 defense in the league. Top 3 defense. And we should have a pretty efficient offense. That's all I ask for. Just be efficient. We ain't got to go out and get 42, 50 points every game. Just go out there and just show that you can do it. And I think we'll be okay because the Broncos do not have a hard schedule, man. Our hardest teams, we play the Eagles for sure. We play let me pull up their schedule. I think we play like Carolina. It is not. Let's see this. Oh, man. Yeah, we play. The Bengals should be interesting. That's a Monday night game, too. But it's in Denver. Then we play the Eagles. So, yeah, Bengals, Eagles. That's like our hardest stretch. The Texans. I'm worried about them. And then the Chiefs, obviously. And the Commanders. It's in Washington. I'm not worried about Green Bay. I'm really not worried about the Chargers. I'm not worried about the Jaguars. Raiders, they're figuring themselves out. Even the Texans could be an up-in-the-air game, quite honestly. Especially if we rolling by then. Man, I don't know. Call me a homer. I just feel like, I'm not scared of the Giants. Who's their quarterback? They got 14 quarterbacks. The Cowboys, it's in Denver. And don't get me wrong, we have slipped up and lost games to the Jets before for sure. This is in London, Germany. It's in Germany, I think. Not worried about them. Not worried about the Chargers. Anyway, we don't hijack the show. I mean, I'll talk about Broncos all night. Let's go. Right? I will do it. Yo. It's been fun, man. What are you guys thinking, though? Some of risers, my followers from the AFC West. And I'll start ramping it up more as we get closer to the season, right? No, I think Carolina will be decent. I don't think we played them, though. But I think Carolina, and they got a chance, too, in that division because they don't play no defense. The quarterback's been getting better. They locked up their receiver spot. I think they've had their running back unlocked, right? They just got some phenomenal running backs in that room over there. It's so wild. They just been slowly building. I think they'll be good. And they can be like this year's Tampa, right? You don't got to win a whole lot of games in the NFC South. You just got to win more games than the other 3 teams, or at least beat them more times. Right? Let's say, dang, we have to do a poll, the weakest division. I think they have to be it. I think it has to be the NFC South because the AFC South is pretty. But to see the AFC South got the Texans, right? I think they got the Texans, and then they're gonna have I think the Jaguars could be decent, right? And that's the same thing. It's just like the NFC South. Tampa Bay could be decent. Atlanta could be okay. Carolina could be good, but I think the way AFC South is, I think Texans are in that like middle to upper echelon tier. So I think they pulled the division up. So they're right barely above the NFC South. Something about those South divisions, man. They just do not care what they're doing. Well, and they get Super Bowls, right? Every once in a while. They slip through the cracks, man. They pull a Giants and just have a 9-5 season and somehow get to the Super Bowl. But yeah, I definitely say the NFC West has to be the weakest division. But shoot, we're talking your division next week. So if you care to join, let me know. We'll be talking NFC East and my breakout players, my risers and fallers from the East. Going through my tour around the NFL. Hey, but before we wrap up, guys, too, don't forget Shady Sports Network has shows for every fan. As in tomorrow, we got Niner Nuts, which is all 49ers talk every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. And then later we have Eagles Elite for all the Philly fans. So tap in Wednesdays. That's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So 12 p.m. Niner Nuts, 8:30 p.m. Eagles Elite, right? And then fantasy reports, like I said, we'll be returning with the preseason on Sunday morning. So we're not there now. But Saturdays, we got the bus stop at 9:30, which hopefully will be some training camp footage this Saturday. So tune in. We'll have some live, up close and personal Broncos footage for you, right? But you know how fantasy reports, how we do. Once the preseason comes, I'll be bringing you sleepers, injury reports, waiver updates, flex calls, anything to get our squads right? Because I'll be forgetting too. So we'll definitely work on that. So before we get out of here, let's go ahead and get another Shady Sports promo in, right? Shady Sports Network. So check us out, guys.
How are you?
Bring them things. I call the plug. Bring them things.
That's money. That's cash out.
Yeah, I'll be jamming to my promos. I like them joints. Yo, one final message for y'all tonight. Draft for upside. Manage consistency. Early rounds are your foundation. Mid and late rounds, that's where championships are won. So look for roles and opportunities, not names, right? Draft for upside. Manage for consistency, right? Because we like them names, but then when them names go down, then we're like, what the heck, man? You didn't make it past the third week. You're going to be out for 4 weeks. I need those points. Now I got Joe Gibbs. Now I got Mark Ingram, right? So make sure you're looking for names. 1, volume, and 2, people that don't get hurt, man, right? People that don't get hurt. Look, hey, that's a wrap on this week's edition of Fantasy Reports. I want to say thank you guys for riding with me, whether you're grinding redraft, scheming dynasty, or just trying to flex in your league's group chat. I got you covered all season long, so come rock with me. I'm Cedric, a.k.a. the bus driver, and that was your Fantasy Report.
I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. I'm a game changer. game changer.